So every emotional response that you have either adds or subtracts to the dynamics of energy that are at play right now within the dynamics of the consensus. So, but there are a number of things that we don't think that you're seeing because you're not looking at it as closely as the channel is. But there are certain things that are occurring right now that are strange and are making people feel uncomfortable, but they actually shouldn't, because in fact they are very positive steps. Today there was a discussion that was going on about nationalizing certain dynamics of energy, certain industries, certain functions of government, to be able to nationalize them in an effect that would take them out of the, what shall we say, the normal burden on the average person, either tax wise or monetarily or regulation wise or anything like that. And that dynamic of that, the realization that the channel had around that dynamic, well, that is a way to get to the big five. What if you could nationalize food production, the search for clean water, the right of everyone to have shelter, the ability of everyone to have health care and education, and all of these things be nationalized? In other words, there's not really a price tag on it because humanity is working with AI, is working with quantum computing, is working with the dynamics of 0 point energy, creating a new reality that will remove so much of the dynamics of having to, quote unquote, work for a living. And so, we realize it sounds a lot like communism, but it is actually not, because it is actually a dynamic that once your basic needs are provided, you have the beautiful and perfect opportunity to explore what it really means to be a human being. I mean with the most positive aspects, the most creative aspects, the most spiritual, the most moral. And we do not mean moral in a religious sort of sense. We mean moral as the dynamic of being able to automatically do the right thing. And that is beginning to become, it's just beginning, that concept. But that concept is a way for you all to get from here within the dynamics of what your reality has been to a more fair future where you are at least all given an equal start. Now we realize that you might not completely get that right away, that it's going to take a certain little bit of mind stretching to see yourself in that position where you didn't, if you did not have to have the jobs that you have now, if you did not have to perform the things that you have to perform in order to be able to survive in this world, and we mean socially as well, then who would you be? Who would you be if you had complete freedom? And you would then say to yourself, well, how could I have complete freedom? I had this upbringing that I had, you know. Well, but again, that's the yeah, but, isn't it? Isn't that the basic yeah, but? You know, you're not a virgin. None of you. You just got you're not innocent. You're not naive. Well, we would suggest to you that that makes you much more able to deal with the dynamics of reality, to be able to move through your reality with a certain smoothness, a certain grace, a certain elegance that keeps you from having to bounce up against negativity all the time.